This is lecture number 13 of electronic devices. You know the subject as electronic devices and the subject code is KEC 301. In today's topic, you are going to study about the drift current. See, in the previous video lectures, I have discussed about the semiconductors, crystal lattice, quantum mechanics, Bohr models. So, if you have missed any of the lectures, you must revise that. So, let us discuss about the drift current. So, after the completion of today's lecture, you will be able to understand what is drift current, how to represent it mathematically, how to relate it with the current density and various other parameters, so that you will be able to evaluate on the basis of the given parameters how to evaluate the drift velocity for electrons, for holes and other terms. So, let us begin. Drift current. First, you have to understand what is drift, what is the literal meaning of the drift. So, in general, you must be familiar with this particular word. Drift is what? Drift is something to carried out. See, so in the case of the semiconductors, you have to study what the concept is being behind and how to define it mathematically. See, drift current, it is actually the electric current or movement of charge carriers which is due to the applied electric field. So, what you conclude, what you have to summarize from here, if there is a presence of electric field or there is a presence of movement of charge carriers, there must be a drift current, right. So, drift current is because of these factors, so you can define it very nicely. If there is a drift and you talk about the semiconductors, you know that in the case of the semiconductors, there must be some majority charge carriers, some minority charge carriers. If you talk about the extrinsic semiconductors, means there must be certain drift velocity. So, drift velocity of charge carriers in a conductor, it depends upon two factors. If you have to observe the drift phenomena, the mechanism which is because of the drift. So, it basically depends upon the two factors. The first factor, which is the intensity of applied electric field across the conductor, means how much the electric field is available over there across that particular conductor, means its intensity. And the second parameter is the property of the conductor, which is known as mobility of charge carriers. Mobility of charge carriers is denoted by mu. If there are the charge carriers, whether it may be a minority or majority, means and there is a drift, means mobility will also is going to be an important factor. It means there are two important factors, one is the electric field and the second is the mobility, upon which this drift velocity of charge carriers depend. So, you must remember both of these points. Then there is one very important statement. You must note down this as well. For applied same electric field on different metallic conductors, if you have two metallic conductors, conductor 1 and conductor 2, and same electric field is being applied, same electric field is being applied across the conductor 1, it is being applied across the conductor 2, but you must remember that the drift velocity will be the different in both of these conductors, right. So, even if you are applying, it does not mean you are applying the same intensity of the electric field. So, the drift of the carriers will remain same. No, not at all. Even on the presence of same electric field with different metallic conductors, there will be the different drift velocity of the electrons, right. These drift velocity of the electrons depends upon the mobility of the charge carriers. See, mobility, this term is very general. You used to say how much mobile that person is, how much mobile that thing is. It means there are certain charge carriers, the charge carriers are moving in that particular semiconductor or in that particular material. So, mobility of charge carriers, this is a very important property upon which drift velocity depends. So, if you have to evaluate, if you have to discuss about the mobility of electrons, it may not be the same as the mobility of holes. So, mobility of electrons, mobility of holes, you can calculate on the basis of its properties, and on the basis of the mobilities, you can calculate the drift velocity of the electrons and holes. Now let us understand what is drift current in the semiconductor. As I am talking again and again, in the case of the semiconductor, if you are observing the charge carriers are electrons or holes or whatever. See, if you take a piece of semiconductor, if this is a piece of semiconductor, there are certain electrons, there must be some holes as well. Let us say these are the holes. If a battery is being applied like in this particular manner, if we say V, this is the positive terminal of the battery, this is the negative terminal of the battery. If the applied electric field is in this particular direction, is in the x direction, now what will happen, because of the influence of this applied electric field and because of this applied voltage, what will happen? Electrons which are having the negative charge, they will be attracted towards the positive terminal of the battery, means they will move towards left. Holes which are having positive charges, they will be attracted towards the negative terminal of the battery, means holes will move towards right. So here you can observe the drift of electrons and holes. This is actually the mechanism you can observe over here. And the concentration of electrons, the concentration of holes, or you can say the number of charge carriers which are electrons and holes, they may vary. It totally depends upon the doping, how much the impurity is being doped over there. So this is how you can explain how the holes are being drifted, how the electrons are being drifted. Now you are observing holes are drifting towards right, while electrons are drifting towards left. Now since there is a drift, so you can calculate the drift velocity because of the holes and drift velocity because of the electrons. You can see over here the electrons drift velocity is given as what? Vn. N denotes the, we are talking about the electron. So V is what? Mu into E. You know that the velocity is directly proportional to the mobility, as I have told you. So Vn is what? Mu n into E. And if you are talking about the holes drift velocity, so Vp, which is equal to mu p into E. Here this term mu n, this is the electron mobility and mu p is the hole mobility. This is how you can calculate the drift velocity because of electrons and because of holes. Now let us understand what is current density and how you can relate it with the other terms. So current density, you must be aware, you must have studied in your schools as well. Just to revise and just to enhance it further so that you can relate with the other parameters. What is current density? The amount of electric current traveling per unit cross sectional area is known as the current density. Current density, this is denoted by J. So this is what? Amount of electric current, which is I, traveling per unit cross sectional area. It means mathematically this current density can be written as what? I upon A. What would be the unit of this current density? I is in the ampere and A is in the meter square. So it is expressed in amperes per square meter. This is the unit of the current density. Now higher the current in a conductor, the higher will be the current density. Obviously you can see J is directly proportional to the I, you can observe in this particular equation. So if you are increasing current, J will increase, means current density will increase. If you are decreasing current, means which is I, J will decrease. So there is a directly relationship between the current density and a current. So this is how you can calculate it. As I have told you, current density is written as what? I upon A. Here what is I? I is a current flowing through the conductor and its unit is the ampere, which is actually the charge flowing per second across any normal plane of conductor. So in terms of, because there is a current, it means if there is a current, there must be some charges. So how to calculate it? And A is the cross sectional area is in the meter square. So this is how you can calculate the current density and how it is related with the current you are aware with now. At the same time, since you know that the current is what? J is I upon A. So from this particular equation you can write down what is I. I is a charge flowing through per second across that particular plane. So what is the charge? Q is the charge on that particular, Q is the charge on the electron. If you observe this particular diagram, see, let me relate it from here. This is a piece of semiconductor bar, its length is L. A is the cross sectional area. Here this particular A is the cross sectional area. If the applied potential is like in this particular manner, what will happen? This is the negative terminal of the battery. This is the positive terminal of the battery. So what will happen? Electrons, which are the charge carriers present in this particular semiconductor bar, because of this, these electrons will drift towards right. Negative will repel. So now these electrons are drifting towards right. If N is the concentration of the electrons, if we assume N is the total number of electrons which are passing per unit area in that particular and which are travelling with a velocity V. So what is that particular current? Q into N into V into A. So I is what? Q N V A divided by A is in the denominator, A will cancel out. So what is J right now? This is Q into N into V. Q is the charge on the electron, N is the number of electrons and V is the drift velocity. So this is how this current density and drift velocity is related with each other. So this is the generalized expression, and accordingly you can write down the expressions for the electrons, for the holes, etc. Now in its continuation, again, because you have to extend this particular equation for the electrons and for the holes as well. As in the like previous section I have told you what is J. J is nothing but Q N into V. But now when we are talking about the current density because of free electrons, it means now you have to be concerned about the electron concentration. So what is Jn? Jn denotes the drift current density because of electrons. This is equal to Q into N into Vn. At the same time, you know that what is Vn? Vn is the drift velocity, which is equal to mu n into E. So you can write this particular equation into this manner. Similarly, you can write down, you can calculate the current density because of holes. What would be the expression over here? Jp, current density because of the holes. Here you have to consider the concentration of the holes, Q into P into Vp, and at the same time you know that Vp is nothing but mobility of holes into applied electric field. So from here you can write down this particular term. So this is how you can write down, you can calculate the individual contribution. If you have to calculate the current density because of electrons, current density because of holes, you will be able to calculate it now. In general, when you have to write down the overall expression, so overall expression will include what? It will include the current density because of electrons plus holes, because both are the charge carriers in the case of the semiconductors. So total drift current density means J total. This is the sum of Jn plus Jp. Jn is what? Qn mu n into E. Jp is Qp mu p into E. Q and E are the common factors. So what is the equation you are getting? J is equal to Q into E, n times mu n plus p times mu p. And you are aware with each and every term over here. What is Q? Q is the charge with its value is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19. E is the applied electric field. N is the number of electrons. Mu n is the electron mobility. P is the holes concentration and mu p is the holes mobility. You may get a number of numerical questions. So you must remember the formula and you must remember each and every term, what is its unit, then only you will be able to simplify it. So I hope now you will be able to calculate the drift current density. How to calculate the drift current density for individual terms means for electrons, for holes, or for total. Now, let us derive a relationship between current and drift velocity. Current is denoted by I and drift velocity is Vd. Now, you have to derive the relationship between these two. You must remember all these terms, how it is related and what is its literal meaning. Then you will be able to derive each and every mathematical expression. Let us assume there are n number of electrons per cubic centimeter, and if Vd is the drift velocity, you can see a diagram over here. A semiconductor bar is being taken which is of length L. A is the cross sectional area, N is the electrons concentration, Vd is the drift velocity. If we are assuming how much the drift is actually for a certain time interval, for a certain time interval we may take a small time interval delta t and accordingly we can calculate it. So, in certain time interval the electron tends to move is given as a distance what? You know that what is the formula for the distance? Distance is velocity into time. Here electrons are drifting with a drift velocity Vd. So, term is Vd into delta t. We are observing in a small time interval. So, we have taken delta t, that particular small time interval. Its volume can be given by this particular term, A times Vd into delta t. So, you can write in this particular manner. Accordingly, you can calculate the charge which is crossing the area. How much charge? Since there is a current flowing through the semiconductor, it means definitely there must be certain charge which will exist over there. So, how you can calculate that charge? Delta q is that particular charge. This is what? N times q into A into this much of the distance travelled. So, this is how you can calculate the charge. And when you have to calculate the current is nothing but that particular delta q upon delta t. Now, substitute this value of delta q upon delta t if you are writing, then delta t this term will cancel out. And what is this particular value of the current? Current you can calculate, this is N into q into A into drift velocity. N is the concentration of the electrons, q is the charge on the electron, A is the cross sectional area and Vd is the drift velocity. So, this is how you can relate, you can derive the relationship between I and Vd, right. Now, let us discuss and derive the relationship between drift current density and conductivity. Drift current density, you know this is denoted by J, and conductivity, you know with the term conductivity, you are aware with the term resistivity, you have studied the semiconductors, conductors, insulators, and you have studied that in the case of the conductors the conductivity is very high. Even if there is a small increase in the temperature, a large amount of current will flow, while the conductivity of insulator is very poor, and conductivity and resistivity are inversely proportional to each other. So, for metallic conductor, if specific resistance rho is given, then conductivity can be written as what? Conductivity sigma, this is equal to 1 upon rho. As I have told you, conductivity and resistivity are inversely proportional to each other. If conductivity is high, resistivity will be low. If conductivity is low, resistivity will be high, means inversely proportional. You can observe in the case of the like insulators, conductivity is poor, means resistivity is high. In the case of the conductors, conductivity is high, means resistivity is low. So, this is how you know that the conductivity and resistivity can be like related and how to derive it. If I is a current which is flowing through a conductor, if the applied potential difference is V, you know the Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? You can state it very clearly and you can write down from the Ohm's law V is equal to what? IR, Ohm's law follow. Then you can write down this particular equation. So, from V is equal to IR, you can write down what is the current. Current is nothing but the ratio of voltage upon the resistance. At the same time, you know that what is resistance? This is rho into L upon A. Now substitute this value of resistance in this equation. So what you are getting over here, I is what? V upon this value of R. So V upon rho into L upon A into V. So from here you are writing this term of I. Just you have substituted this value of R into this particular equation. From here, let us take this A on the left hand side. I upon A is what? V upon rho into L. You are aware with this term. You are aware with this particular term, V upon L. What is this term? I upon A. I upon A is nothing but J. 1 upon rho is sigma and V upon L is E. So from here you can write down what is J. J is nothing but this is the product of conductivity into applied electric field. J is sigma into E. From here you have written what is sigma? Conductivity, which is the drift current density upon the applied electric field. So this is how you can write down, you can derive the relationship between the current density and the conductivity. So I hope this particular point is also clear to you. You can take a note, because these the equations you can find in a number of numericals also. So you may get a question. Now moving ahead, what is J? Drift current density. Total drift current density you have written as what? Q into E, N of mu N plus P of mu P. Q is the charge, E is the applied electric field, N is the electron concentration, mu N is the mobility of electrons, P is the hole concentration, mu P is the mobility of holes. At the same time, you know that what is J? J is the sigma into E. We have discussed just before this particular term how to derive it by substituting the values of like resistance into the equation which you have taken from the Ohm's law, and then just rearranging the term. So if you compare this equation and this equation, you can observe what is this conductivity. Sigma can be written as what? Just you can compare these two terms. This is nothing but Q times N of mu N plus P of mu P. This is how you can write down the expression for the conductivity, and you must remember it as well. If you have to write down the expression for the resistivity, rho is nothing but 1 upon sigma. So this term will be 1 upon this. You can rearrange the term and you can rearrange it into for the extrinsic semiconductors, for the intrinsic semiconductors also. If we talk about intrinsic semiconductor, if we talk about intrinsic semiconductor, you know that the intrinsic semiconductors are the pure semiconductors. In case of intrinsic semiconductors, the number of electron, the number of holes, or you can say that the concentration of electrons is equal to the concentration of holes is equal to the intrinsic carrier concentration. Now this particular equation, which you can see, equation number 1, can be written as what? This sigma, this is equal to Q times, now N is equal to P, which is equal to Ni into mu N plus mu P. This is the case for the intrinsic semiconductor. For extrinsic semiconductor, let us discuss about for N-type semiconductor. What will happen in the case of N-type semiconductor? In this particular case, you know that the concentration of electrons will be very high in comparison to the concentration of holes. So here what you are going to write from this particular equation number 1, the sigma is equal to Q, this term mu of N of mu N, this term will be high in comparison to the second term. So this equation can be written in this particular form. Concentration of electrons can also be approximated with concentration of the donor atoms. Similarly, you can write down this particular equation for p-type semiconductor also. In case of p-type semiconductor, what happens? You know that majority charge carriers are holes. So, P is very high in comparison to N. Now, equation number 1 will reduce to what? This sigma conductivity, this is equal to Q times. First term will be very less in comparison to the second term. So, it can be approximated as Q into P into mu P. At the same time, you can write down the concentration of holes is equal to the concentration of the acceptor atoms. So, this is the equation for the intrinsic semiconductor. This is for the extrinsic semiconductor when it is of N type. This is the case of extrinsic semiconductor when it is of P type semiconductor, right. So, I hope now you will be able to reduce the given equation or the original equation on the basis of the different types of semiconductors depending upon the pure semiconductor or impure and its other types, right. So, you must remember all of these equations, these are very important. Now, in its continuation, let us solve one question. We have discussed number of formulas. So, let us revise and utilize this. The question is, calculate the current produced in a small germanium plate. See, you have to read the question very carefully, and in the first step you must write down what are the given points, what is given that, then only you will be able to identify which particular formula you need to utilize. Germanium plate of area is given 1 centimeter square, thickness is 0.3 mm. When a potential difference of 2 volt is applied potential is 2 volt across the phases. Given that the concentration of free electrons in germanium is 2 into 10 raised to the power 19 per meter cube and mobilities of electrons and holes are 0.36 and 0.17 respectively. So, what you need to calculate it over here? You have to calculate the current produced, you have to calculate the value of I. You know that the current density J is what? Sigma into E, and at the same time we have discussed the formula for the conductivity for a pure semiconductor. This is Q into Ni, Ni is the intrinsic carrier concentration, mu N plus mu P, mu N is the electron mobility, mu P is the holes mobility. At the same time we have discussed this current density J is what? Sigma, E is V upon L. From here you can write down J is nothing but I upon A and right hand side term is same, sigma into V upon L. So, from here you can rearrange what is I. I is nothing but sigma into V into A upon L. Now, just you have to substitute all the possible values which have been given over here and you will be able to calculate the value of I. First, calculate this conductivity. From here you can calculate the conductivity. Q is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19. Ni is given, which is 2 into 10 raised to the power 19 into mu n, which is given as 0.36. Mu p is 0.17. Simplify it and substitute its value over here. What you are getting over I? You are going to calculate this conductivity. Conductivity you are getting 1.696. V is, see, potential difference of 2 volt. A is the area 1 centimeter square converted into the meter, which is 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter. Thickness is given as 0.3 meter. Mm means 0.3 into 10 raised to the power 3 meter. Simplify it, you will be getting the value of I as 1.13 ampere. So, this is how you can calculate the value whichever required over here on the basis of the given parameters. So, I hope now this particular question must be clear to you and you will be able to simplify many more questions if you are getting on the basis of the formulas which we have discussed in today's class, whether it is about the conductivity, whether it is about the current density, if we are talking about the drift velocity for electrons, holes, etc. Thank you so much for watching this.